A sleeping giant lies beneath this bustling city, and it's waking up. What if I told you that a single eruption could erase entire cities, sending millions of people fleeing for their lives? What if all the warning signs were there, but local residents did not take it seriously? What if I told you that 500,000 people might perish when this supervolcano explodes? How do you prepare for something so catastrophic? And are we running out of time? Welcome to Campi Flegrei, an ancient supervolcano just outside Naples, Italy. This isn't your typical volcano, it's a caldera, a massive cauldron that last erupted centuries ago. But recent seismic activity suggests that it may be on the verge of a cataclysmic explosion. And here's the terrifying part. When it goes off, 500,000 people in the nearby region could be in immediate danger. But why now? Why is this volcano that was silent for centuries suddenly so close to erupting? Campi Flegrei has a violent history. Around 39,000 years ago, it unleashed one of the largest eruptions in European history, spreading ash across the entire continent. Since then, smaller eruptions have reshaped the landscape. The last significant eruption of this supervolcano occurred in 1538, forming a new bay along the southern Italian coast. Seismic activity has been on the rise since 2022, which experts say may be the result from the buildup of magma beneath the surface. But for the past 500 years, it's been quiet. Too quiet. And now the pressure is building beneath the surface. Seismologists have detected increased magma movement, ground uplift, and frequent tremors. All signs that an eruption could happen at any moment. In May this year, a 4.4 magnitude earthquake struck Italy's Campi Flegrei, causing minor damage in the town of Pozzuoli, the epicenter. The quake was the strongest to hit the highly seismic area in the last 40 years. It occurred amidst an ongoing seismic storm that saw more than a dozen tremors over 2.0 magnitude in only 48 hours. In April and May this year, there were thousands of recorded earthquakes in the Campi Flegrei area. And the earthquakes that have taken place this year have moved closer and closer to the surface, an alarming sign. The area is also prone to bradyseism, a phenomenon where the ground rises and falls due to subterranean pressure. The last major cycle of bradyseism was in 1984. But several volcanologists have indicated that a new cycle is currently underway. What's most concerning is the sheer number of people living within the potential blast zone. This isn't a remote volcano in the wilderness, it's in the backyard of one of Italy's largest cities. All around the caldera, there are cities, towns, and ports with countless resorts, cafes, and restaurants. Imagine this, a sudden, violent eruption, spewing ash, gases, and lava into the atmosphere. In just minutes, entire neighborhoods could be buried under molten rock. The blast would send pyroclastic flows, fast-moving clouds of hot ash and gas racing through the streets of Naples and nearby towns. If you're caught in one, survival isn't an option. And for the 500,000 people living within the immediate danger zone, the time to escape might be too short. So what's being done to prepare for this impending disaster? And will it be enough? Scientists are working round the clock using state-of-the-art technology to monitor every tremor, every tiny movement of magma beneath the surface. They've set up an intricate network of sensors to measure ground uplift and gas emissions. Early warning systems are designed to detect signs of an impending eruption, giving people enough time to evacuate. But here's the chilling reality. While these systems provide some warning, they can't guarantee it will be soon enough. And in a densely populated region, even a few hours of delay could mean the difference between life and death. Even in a volcanic eruption that happens relatively suddenly, the vast scale of the settled areas on top of and near the Campi Flegrei caldera means that it is unlikely that everyone will have time to evacuate. Now imagine that the supervolcano explodes. Local residents might think that they have days or even weeks to evacuate when signs emerge of heightened seismic activity, while impending doom is imminent, much like the example of a volcano exploding in Tonga nearly 3 years ago. When looking at the anatomy of Campi Flegrei, there is a seismic layer that caps off the deeper magma. If that layer breaks, a supervolcano eruption of a truly devastating impact can take place. If the Campi Flegrei volcano explodes, Vesuvius could also be affected, and there has been plenty of seismic activity on that mountain too this year. If both sides have a massive eruption, the people of Naples would be stuck between two massive exploding volcanoes, with no way out. If Campi Flegrei erupts, we're not just talking about a local disaster. The ash cloud alone could disrupt air travel across Europe for weeks, just like what happened with the Icelandic volcano in 2010. But this time, the scale would be far greater. Local roads would be choked with evacuees trying to escape. Hospitals, emergency services, and shelters would be overwhelmed. The sheer logistics of millions of people evacuating the area in a short window is almost unimaginable. So, what can be done now? Authorities are trying to educate locals about evacuation routes and emergency procedures, but the challenge is ensuring everyone takes the threat seriously. For many, the idea of a supervolcano erupting seems distant or unlikely. After all, it hasn't erupted in over 500 years, but recent geological data tells us that it's not a question of if, but when. In light of this, evacuation plans have been formed, and even evacuation drills and simulations have taken place. The question is, will everyone be able to evacuate in time? The Campi Flegrei caldera is an unpredictable monster, and its awakening could be more sudden than we expect. Can we afford to be caught off guard, or is it time to take action now, before it's too late? Don't wait. We must recognize the risks and act before it's too late. Share this video to raise awareness, and let's keep the conversation going about how to prepare for the next great eruption. And subscribe to the channel for more before and after videos.